Welcome to Second Edition. I'm Leo Crust.
And I'm Roxxane Harnack. A string of vandalisms on White Avenue has been putting pressure on local businesses.
Also, Edmontonians must prepare for parking rate changes in the city.
And a tattoo convention attracted hundreds of tattoo enthusiasts.
But first, we will talk about the ongoing strike from the Public Service Alliance of Canada. The PSAC strike is now in its second week, causing delays in government-issued documents and applications affecting numbers of Canadians and immigrants. The strike started on April 19 as the Canadian government failed to comply with the PSAC demand, mostly concerning fair wages and making remote work negotiable for some federal employees. Numbers of agencies are affected by the strike, such as Tax Preparation Office, travel agencies, and Immigration Consultant Office, causing delays in the process of the application.
Because of the strike, the biometric request is pending for a lot of applications. Normally, it would come after 24 hours after application, but now it has been 3 days. We haven't received any biometrics. So those are the things that would affect the processing of any immigration applications because of the strike.
As of today, no resolution has been resolved and bargaining is still ongoing in hopes of meeting the union's demand, avoiding further delays.
Small businesses on White Ave are experiencing an uptick in vandalisms. For some, including the owner of Black Swan Antiques and Collectibles, these incidents are an attack on their livelihoods.
On a personal level, it's very brutal because it was my retirement. And I mean, I still will make it, but it's been very major.
Over $100,000 worth of jewelry was stolen after an attempted 4 break-ins. That's not even including the cost of repairs, which are still underway.
If you're still planning to go to Edmonton, prepare to pay more in parking as the city issued a parking rate increase and some policy changes starting May 1st. High-demand e-park zones, including 3 in downtowns, will experience an increase in hourly parking rate by $1, while monthly parking rate will also increase by $35, as well as eliminating free parkings on Sundays. Local businesses like Wayback Burgers are not in favor on the increase because it hurts businesses more rather than helps them.
Well, we have a bus lane just in front of our business, so we already don't have parking as it is. So the only parking we have is the one just near us. So if you're going to increase pricing there, that's going to limit parking even more as it is. So customers may not even come in. The minimum that we're coming in, they might not even come in altogether.
In addition to the parking rate increase, the City of Edmonton will remove 68 e-park zones and convert them into 2 to 3 hour time-restricted zones. For more information about the parking changes, visit edmonton.ca/epark.
Over the weekend, hundreds of tattoo enthusiasts crammed into the Edmonton Expo Center to browse what's new and popular.
She sees right through me. Got to let it go. Don't matter in their feet.
Hosting live performances and other attractions, a large group of Edmontonians attended the Tattoo and Arts Festival, adding to their own collections and browsing the many stalls set up. But one style of tattoo has been dominating the market as of late.
Yeah, I guess it would have to be the neo-traditional. I've noticed a lot of people doing a lot more, and I myself are starting to grow a lot more towards it. And I actually want to start doing a lot more of that.
These tattoos have all the characteristics of a traditional tattoo. That means bold strokes, but with an added variety of colors and line widths. Only time will tell, though, if this new style will stick.
Well, there's a lot of event going on in Edmonton, especially in sports, as senior football players are looking to cement spot for the All-Star.
But first, get your clubs out of the garage because courses everywhere has started to open. Our Landon Hickok has more.
Thanks, guys. Now that the spring is officially here, golf courses around Edmonton have officially opened their doors. And this season, is expected to be even more fruitful than before. Victoria Golf Course is one of the few city-owned courses that opened this last Thursday. The driving range, clubhouse, and all 18 holes are in full operation. With an early April opening, golfers have plenty of opportunities this year to come out.
We're in really good shape, so we're looking forward to a good season. Once we get some water on, it'll start popping, everything will go green, and we'll be mid-season form probably by middle of May. It's always good to go out to the range, hit some balls, so you loosen up everything. Even if you come down a little bit early before you go out and play, it's good to loosen up the muscles and then come out the golf course. It'll make it more enjoyable.
Even though the conditions may be dry for now, that hasn't taken away any excitement, as courses around the city were already fully booked throughout this past weekend. It's the home stretch for senior high school football players this year, yet they have one more chance to prove their skills for the Senior Provincial All-Star Game. Last weekend held camp for the 32nd annual Senior Bowl. Hundreds of participants fought for a spot in the 40-man roster to represent the North team against the already decided Southern team.
You know, it's kind of an opportunity to get myself out there. Just trying to see what there is to offer, what the competition is. So far it's great, and it's been motivating me to kind of like keep going.
The 3-day camp was jointly operated by the Edmonton Huskies and Wildcats and featured testing, various practices, and a scrimmage to top it all off. This year's matchup will take place in Lacombe on May 22nd. Sounds like a very tough field to get in, but you gotta respect those boys for coming out. Either way, I'm excited to hit the driving range this year.
Yeah, I haven't golfed for a while, but I might try it out again, especially if I get a chance to drive those carts, right?
Yeah, and now that classes are just about over, I'm ready to take off some stress and have a nice game of golf.
After a short break, we will explore local Edmonton. Song artist Heritage has shaped his journey.
And a non-for-profit is giving retired police doggos a safe place to live out the rest of their doggy days.
Zach Willier, a rising star in music industry, draws inspiration from his indigenous heritage, creating a unique sound that reflects his roots.
Join us as our Gabby Bernal sits down with him to discuss how his indigenous heritage has shaped his musical career.
So thank you guys. I'm here today with Zach Willier. Thank you so much for having me today. So Zach, let's start from the very beginning. So what inspired you to pursue music?
Well, I always grew up with country music and, rock and roll music being played around my house. And, I grew up in an environment where all these legends were always singing on the radio and on the CD player for sure. My grandparents and my mom always used to play those old records, George Jones and Hank Williams and, all the greats. So, I always grew up in that environment and I was used to this music. And when I went to Prince Charles School, they have a fiddle program there. And I started playing fiddle in that program, and gradually I got better and better. And I took my country influence, and kind of added that to the fiddle, and so that's kind of how my career sort of started, if you will.
Okay. And as an indigenous artist, how important it is for you to preserve your culture in music? Well,
the first style I started with fiddle music is the Métis style of fiddle music, and as a First Nations and Métis person, I have roots on both sides. I think it's very important to keep those roots alive and keep that culture alive to play these old-fashioned tunes that don't necessarily get brought up so often. So I know it's very important to keep those alive, keep them going, and especially as a young artist, it brings a lot of people joy to hear these young people playing these old tunes, and it never will die in my hands.
Have you faced any challenges as an indigenous artist?
Not really. I've been very privileged to not face any challenges, and I've been very privileged to get a lot of opportunities, and as I'm a little bit different. I'm not just a fiddle player. I'm not just a singer. So, it's, I think I'm getting opportunities that really help me as an artist. And, it's kind of weird to say, but I think my indigeneity really helps me as an artist, and it differentiates me from other people.
So, Zach, it is pretty much like just the beginning of your career. So, what are you looking forward for the future?
Well, you know, the end goal is really to be famous and be a successful recording artist. And, you know, I want people to like my music. I try to write music that people can connect to, songs from the heart and songs that people can relate to. You know, it's a little bit morbid, but, you know, heartbreak sells. And so I want people to be able to connect to my songs. And I really just want people to like me and like my music.
Okay, thank you so much for having me here today. So that's all for me. I'm Gabby Bernal for Second Edition News.
After a long career of tracking, trapping, and saving lives, many police and military dogs have trouble retiring in peace.
But a registered charity by the name of Ned's Wish is making rest and relaxation possible. Our Avery Irvine reports.
Oh, hey! I didn't even see you there. You just caught me in the middle of my coloring session. More specifically, I'm coloring Ned from Ned's Wish. Speaking of Ned's Wish, I got to meet with the president of the charity to ask her what it's all about. Today I'm here with Stacy Talbot, the president of Ned's Wish, the charity. And so Stacy, what is Ned's Wish?
What we do is we look after the medical well-being for retired police and military working dogs here in Canada. So we fundraise and we try to make sure that after these dogs have worked their whole careers serving their community, serving their fellow police officers, and also their country abroad, that they actually can get a retirement. We are all volunteer-based. We have people, volunteers, board of directors here in Alberta, in BC, key volunteers across the country, and we have about approximately 169 dogs registered with us. And currently, we've only been up and running for about 4 years, but we've already paid out $160,000 worth of veterinary bills to make sure these retired heroes can enjoy their retirement.
How do you get funding for the charity?
There's no government grants, we don't have any grants. We have outstanding people that have stepped up and donated, people that have done everything from third-party fundraising. We have kids that instead of birthday presents, they've had their friends give them a few dollars and they've donated it that way. We have bigger corporations that have been able to give us some significant dollars and people that have just gone above and beyond. We're extremely grateful for our community that has really stepped up when we have a dog in need.
Who is Ned?
He was a retired RCMP dog. He had a lot of famous calls. I was bestowed the honor of having him in his retirement years. And that was actually when I realized after I had him for 5 years, he had a number of health issues during those 5 years where between insurance and myself though, we racked up about $50,000. And that's when I really sort of understood that things had changed in the veterinary community and that the cost of care for these guys when they need something that will give them many more years of enjoyment, but come with a significant cost. So he was the founding dog, if you will, that the charity was named after.
If you're interested in the charity or just want to learn more about the heroes, go check out nedswish.com. I'm Avery Irvine for Second Edition News.
After the break, we will check out some tips on how to play beach volleyball and places to try it out.
Then we hit the slopes for spring skiing.
Welcome back to Second Edition. Spring is here, but some people still want to experience some winter activities.
But first, we have Ben Lowan to teach us how to do beach volleyball to prepare us for this coming summer.
It's starting to feel like spring again in Edmonton, and outdoor sports are making a comeback after a harsh winter.
Ben, think fast.
I'm Ben Lowan with Second Edition, and today I'm going to give you a crash course on beach volleyball. Oh! Beach volleyball is a sport that continues to grow in Canada. Since its induction into the Olympics in 1996, our country has produced multiple superstars. The pair Sarah Pavin and Melissa Humana Paredes won the 2019 Beach Volleyball World Championships, which was the first ever medal for a Canadian team. Now that you know a little more about the sport, let's see what you need to play it. All you need is a sand court, a net, a beach volleyball, and 3 awesome friends who will play with you all day long. We're going to start off with one of the most rudimentary skills, and that's the pass. So first, I'm going to show you guys the body position. So you guys are going to want to have your feet a little wider than shoulder width apart, and you're going to want to squat down like you're going to the toilet. And now that we have our body position, let's work on our arms. So for the platform, you're going to take your dominant hand and have it out, and you're going to take your non-dominant hand and put the fingers right on top of each other. When your fingers are like this, you're going to come up and close, and then you have your platform right there. So basically, what it'll be like in full is you're down, arms out, pass up. And now let's see it with the ball. Arms are out. And that's how you pass. The next skill I'm going to teach you is one of the hardest in beach volleyball, and that's the handset. First, we're going to start with our body position. We're going to want to keep our feet a little wider than shoulder width and make sure you're a little bended down so you have a good center of gravity. Now that we have our legs down, let's work on our hands. So basically what you're going to want to do is position your hands so it's in like a triangle rectangle around the Mikasa sign so that you can see it. And now that we have our hand position, let's try to set it. One tip I can give you guys is make sure that you have flexible wrists so you can get the full catch and release motion. So let's try it out. There are many beach volleyball courts and leagues around Edmonton. Some of the most popular spots are in Malmo, Lendrum, and Woodcroft. The Edmonton Sport and Social Club and Volleyball Alberta hold intramural leagues every spring and summer. For more information, you can go to their specific websites. Beach volleyball is a great way to spend some time in the sun and an easy game you can play with your friends all day long. I hope to see you guys at the court. With Second Edition, I'm Ben Lowen.
Hi, I'm Abby Cunningham for Second Edition News, and I'm at Snow Valley right now, getting ready for some spring skiing. Snow is starting to melt, so we want to get out there before it's all gone. So, come join me for some spring skiing. Closed? What do you mean closed? No, why? No. No. That was me about 2 hours ago. While the ski season here in Edmonton may be wrapped up, our neighbors to the west are still getting quite a bit of snow. Marmot Basin in Jasper got 5 centimeters yesterday. So they're still going for a couple weeks. We're gonna head on down to Jasper instead. I'll see you guys on the mountain. We are now at Marmot Basin. Just finished getting ready, so it's fit check time. Goggles, I'm wearing Good Day Optics goggles. They're shiny, they make me look like a dragonfly. I love them. Jacket? I forgot my jacket. So always make sure you have everything before leaving to ski. So I'm repping my Patagonia fleece. We got Nordica boots, Burton snow pants, and then the beautiful Roxxane skis. So, it's time to go ski. We are now on the hill at Marmot Basin. We found our snow. We're by the chairlifts just in front of the lodge. So, let's pop on the skis or a snowboard if you're wearing a snowboard, and we'll just get skiing. Let's go skiing. Let's go! Flat Basin will remain open until January 30th of this season. Other ski hills around Western Canada will remain open for a bit longer. Sunshine is open until May 22nd for their Slush Cup, so there's still chances to get out and go skiing before the season ends. For Second Edition News, I'm Abby Cunningham.
On behalf of the Second Edition team, thank you for tuning into the show and getting informed on what's happening in Edmonton.
And as we end our last Second Edition, I would like to end the show with a quote from Truman Show. In case we don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.